Hello, it's Mac Attram here, and listen, T.R. Vecker is an amazing program designer, and one of his leading programs is called a Millionaire Mind Intensive. I urge you to learn more about it. One of the things you'll learn and discover at the Millionaire Mind Intensive is something we call the 4 quadrants. And the 4 quadrants simply says that we live in 4 worlds at any given time. We live in the mental world, We live in the emotional world. We live in the spiritual world. We also live in the physical world. Now, let me ask you these questions. The mental world, is that inner game or outer game? That's the inner world, right? The emotional world, is that inner world or outer world? The spiritual, is that inner world or outer world? Yes, inner world. Physical, is that inner world or outer world? Correct. That is the outer world. What most people don't realize is that your physical results, what are your physical results? I'm talking about your happiness. I'm talking about the kind of money you earn. I'm talking about your wealth, your where you live. There is physical results that you have. And whether you make your money through stock trading or whether you make money through real estate property or through business, you have physical results. Now, everything we do physically, comes from the inner world. So those 3 things, mental, emotional, spiritual, inner world, so the physical world we live in is merely a printout of what's going on in the inner world. So in other words, if you are not happy with the results that you are getting, there is something going on in your inner world. In other words, at the root cause of what's going on with your results. And again, let me say this. If you are not happy with results in regards to money, because money is a result. Relationships are a result. Loving relationships are a result. Your illness is a result. Disease is a result. Your health, as you know, is a result. But how did you get these results? How did you get these physical manifestations? It comes from your inner world. You know, T.R. Vecker is renowned throughout the world for saying this phrase: give me 5 minutes with anyone and I will predict their financial future for the rest of their life. And my friend T.R. Vecker can do that. I can do that as well. So how do we predict your financial future for the rest of your life? Well, in those 5 minutes, what we determine is what we call your money blueprint. You see, all of us have money and success blueprints already ingrained within our mind already. Now, within 5 minutes, we identify what those things are. And some of these things you'll learn at the Millionaire Mind Intensive. I encourage you to come along, because what we'll do is we'll help you to identify this blueprint. And it's this blueprint that is running your life and sometimes ruining your life. Now, at the Millionaire Mind Intensive, you'll learn some of us are set up for financial success, financial mediocrity, or financial failure. What are you set up for? Your money blueprint will determine what that is, and you'll learn that at the Millionaire Mind Intensive. You see, the roots causes the fruits. The roots create the fruits. That means if you want to get better fruits, you need to go to the roots. For example, when I talk about the fruits, I'm talking about the results in your life. When you look at the results in your life, are you totally happy with them? Are you happy with your finances? Are you happy with your wealth? Are you happy with your income? Are you happy with your joy, your happiness, your purpose? If you're not, there's something going on at the root. And at the Millionaire Mind Intensive, although we are focusing on helping you to have more income, better wealth, also, what's the point of all of that if you don't have any joy or happiness in your life? So we'll be helping you to do that. And remember I said, it's the roots that causes the fruits. So if you're not happy with those results, there is something going on at root level. What do I mean? I mean internally. what's happening inside of you is causing the results outside of you. And what T.R. Vecker cleverly has done is to marry the inner game of wealth with the outer game of wealth. The two coupled together means you'll have more success, more happiness, more joy, and more wealth. If you want to improve your results, you must understand what we call the process of manifestation. And the process of manifestation simply says this: in order to have a result, we all go through a process, and that process starts with our thought. We have a thought. We're thinking about something. We're thinking about we want a certain result. So that thought leads to what? Leads to a feeling. A feeling means an emotion. So that thought triggers an emotional release within us that then takes us into action. And that action, whether we take little action or no action or massive action, creates some kind of result. So again, if you're looking for better results in terms of more money, greater wealth, then think about this. You are going to go through, everybody goes through the same process of thought, feelings, action, and result. Imagine you want to be a world-class athlete, an Olympic athlete. It clearly starts with a thought. Maybe you watched the Olympics, you saw someone demonstrate athleticism and they did really well, they won a gold medal. Maybe Usain Bolt. And so now you want that result. So you think, okay, how am I going to do that? You have the thought, I want that gold medal. So you have a feeling, what would it feel like when I have that gold medal? Now you take the action. What is the action needed in order to be a world-class gold medalist at the Olympics? Well, you've got to train, you know that. You've got to eat nutritionally very, very well. You've got to drink plenty of water. You'll be training several times a day for several hours. You'll be having a coach to help you to do that. Same with money. You want to be a millionaire. What happens? You need to have the right thought. What's going on in your mind? What is your mindset? The right mindset, the right thoughts will generate a feeling hopefully of success, of wanting to achieve. That will then determine what action you take. And if you take the right actions, my friend, you'll get the right results. If you take the wrong actions, you'll get poor results. What you'll discover is this: all of us are conditioned in a certain way. And you'll discover maybe some of the thoughts you have around money, some of your actions you've been taking around money are subconscious beliefs. And some of them are disempowering, some of them are non-supportive. But what you'll discover is where those thoughts, where those ways of being, where those feelings really, really come from. And you'll discover that they are not your creation. You did not create them. It didn't come from you. It came from elsewhere, which has been implanted into your subconscious mind. Let me give you an example. One of the things you'll learn is about 3 ways that you've been programmed or conditioned. And those 3 ways are, firstly, verbal conditioning. We'll talk about that. What is verbal conditioning? It simply says what you heard as a child when you were growing up. What did you hear as a child when you were growing up? Did you hear things like, money is the root of all evil? Don't trust rich people. Rich people are greedy. Well, money doesn't grow on trees, What did you hear? All these things, whether you like it or not, affects the way now, as a grown adult, how you treat money. Not only that, we'll also be talking about modeling. Modeling simply says, what is this? It means, what did you see as a child when you were growing up? Now, if you think about when you was at home living with your parents, or even if you're living with your parents now, you realize that you saw your parents behaving around money in a certain way. You saw your guardians behaving around money and talking about money in a certain way. And those things you saw are still ingrained in your subconscious mind. those things you saw are also still affecting the results that you get. And we will show you, we'll bring these up to the surface and help you deal with those, clean these out so they don't affect your decisions around money, around wealth, around happiness going forward. And what's the third thing? The third thing is what we call specific incidents. So the third thing around conditioning and programming that you've come across is what we call specific incidents. Now, what's a specific incident? Now, deep in your subconscious mind, deep in your mind files, there are some specific incidents that have happened around money. Maybe a parent or a guardian said something at a certain point which affected you, which you weren't happy about. Maybe it was a decision around money. Maybe you wanted something that you couldn't have. Maybe they said you wanted something, they said we can't afford it. Maybe you wanted something and somebody else got it. Maybe something happened where you were scolded. I'm telling you, my friends, for a lot of us, it's affected the way we think about money and the way we deal with money. And these three things of programming affects us. So not only our parents and our guardians, but think about all the other people or institutions that may have had an effect on you regarding money. For example, places of worship sometimes have an effect on us around money. Not only that, what about TV? What about newspapers? What about general media? What about, not only that, what about school? School, teachers also have an effect on us. Our siblings, not only our parents, our siblings are also our grandparents. Maybe the maid that you lived in your house, maybe the helpers that were living with you as well, would have affected the way you think about money. These people, these institutions have an effect on the way we now as adults treat money. And I'm saying to you, if you are not clear, you are not getting the results that you really, really want around wealth, money, happiness, or otherwise, come and understand what the psychology of wealth is, the psychology of your happiness, and see how you can improve. We are here to help you, and I encourage you to come along to the Millionaire Mind Intensive to learn about how to become even more prosperous, how to have more money, how to have more income, how to generate more wealth for yourself and for your family and for the charities and for the people that mean a lot to you. In this video, I want to talk about why I believe it's important to be rich, why I believe it's important to be wealthy. And I want to give you my take on that. And there are three reasons why I believe it's important to be wealthy. The first reason is this. It's obvious, but it's about lifestyle. It's about lifestyle. If you are rich and wealthy, you can have the lifestyle that you choose. You can choose to put your children in certain schools, the best schools. You can choose to drive the kind of car that you really desire. You can then live in a home that you really, really want. Maybe you want a second home or a third home, vacation home, away from where you live right now. Maybe you want to travel the world. Maybe you want to travel to Paris, you want to travel to Milan, Rome, you want to go to Australia, Sydney, you want to go to New York, Washington, you want to see all these places. Maybe London, you want to go to Beijing, maybe you want to see the Eiffel Tower, wherever it is. Hawaii. Maybe you want to travel, maybe you want to have you want to enjoy your life in a sense of not being restricted. If you want to go to the best restaurants in your city or in the world, you have the ability to do that. Maybe you want to wear certain clothes, wear certain designer clothes. Yes, having wealth and riches allows you to have those things. But that's one of the reasons it's important to be rich. But a second reason I think is just as important is this. Contribution. Contribution. What do I mean? If you have the ability, if you have the wherewithal to become rich, I believe it's your duty, it's your dharma to become rich. Because there are so many people on our planet, so many other humans on this earth who don't have the ability that you have. They don't have the ability to generate a lot of income, a lot of wealth like you do. And if you have the ability and you are able to help a lot of people, yes, become rich and help them. You know, right now as I speak, there are people on our planet, there are people around the world who today have no drinking water, who today will not be able to eat any food because there isn't any food for them, who are suffering ill health, malnutrition, who are suffering in terms of eyesight because they're not eating, their energy is depleted and their skin is terrible. These people need help. So if you have the ability to make money and also give some money away to charities that are important to you, or create your own trust or your own foundation where you are helping a lot of people in your city or in your country or other parts of the world, then get rich and help them as well. So I've talked about lifestyle, your personal lifestyle. I've talked about contribution, the ability to contribute to other human beings on our planet. I think it's a good thing to do. But thirdly, on the journey to becoming rich and very successful and wealthy, guess what? It's all going to determine on who you become on that journey. Who you become in terms of character, virtue, habits, routines. Who you become as a human being is so important. Wherever you are right now, if you don't have the kind of wealth, the kind of riches that you really desire, guess what? You have to grow into that. And on that journey, on that growth, you become, I believe, a better human being. In terms of your routines, in terms of the way you are able to look at situations, the people you're able to help. The person you become in terms of character, I think is so important. So on that note, my name is Mac Hatram. Be rich, be wealthy, be happy, be successful, and I look forward to seeing you very soon.